load to carry.
Regret is super heavy. And we don't really, because it's tied to so many low vibration emotions, right? Like guilt and shame are the lowest vibrating emotions that we can carry in our body. Yeah. And they're so tied to regret. They're tied in like we feel guilty about something, or we're ashamed about something, and then we have those other resentments and rejections around regret, or blame and punishment. It has so many feelings attached to it. And a quick segue on this, like, one of the things I did want to mention as well about like clearing these things is that, like, it's so important for us to clear them so that we can also clear them from our ancestors and our children. Yeah. Right? Because, like we pass those things on, and we might not even realize it, right? Like, in our DNA and through, it's like nature and nurture. And by clearing it on us, we clear it on, our children, like our future grandchildren, our future, like, and it's pretty amazing that, like, by us healing, it's genetically down the line, and we can clear it on our parents and our siblings, to a different degree, but it's still pretty amazing. So release the regret. Yeah. And everything.
Yeah. And then, I did want you to touch a little bit on like the generational healing, the ancestral, and going backward and forward and stuff like that, and how that does affect. I remember we worked one time, and this, maybe we touched on regret a little bit for that session, but something came up. We were working on something, and it was tied to beliefs about men for me, right? Mm-hmm. And beliefs about men, programs about men, and how we viewed men, for me and the women in my family. And so we cleared backwards and forwards generationally, like for the women in my family. And I hope my daughter does not see this, but literally, I think it was, because we did it during the day, I think that night, my eldest had issues with her boyfriend. They broke up.
Yeah, and I remember this.
They broke up. They had like a major fallout. She was crying. And then the very next day, my mom has several sisters, and they all just kind of like showed up at my mom's house, and they were happy and they were joyful. And you can see, I don't know, they're always kind of crazy and joyful anyway, but there's a lot of like craziness and dysfunction in there. But it was just like a light.
There was a shift.
Yeah, there was a shift, and I saw it, and it was just like I got to witness that, So
it's pretty amazing. Like, we can't change other people, right? Like, they have to change themselves, or like our ancestors or our parents and our children. Like, for children, I'm saying our children. I don't have any children, but that I know of, and since I am
in a parallel universe, maybe.
Pretty sure I'm accurate on that, but whatever. I'm speaking like I have some. But when we clear that, especially when they're younger, we have the ability to accept the healing for our children, right? So, because they are still under our care. Yeah. So even if like children have things going on, like younger children that, like, you're not going to do a theta session with a little kid or an infant or toddler, but a parent can do that healing, accept it for them, like do the healing on themselves, accept it for them, and then accept it for their child so that their child gets the healing as well, which is absolutely amazing. And it works on things like clearing traumas and emotions, because you can clear trauma. And trauma doesn't have to be this like life-altering, shattering event. Right. Like, trauma can be like something really tiny. Like, trauma for a kid can be a parent going to work. Yeah. Yeah. And that like for a child is traumatizing. Yeah. Right? Like, And so clearing that and then teaching them how, like, I guess we're going to do a, like, example of, like, so a parent has regret because they have to go back to work. They're feeling guilty, shameful, a bad parent, a bad mother, bad father, like, the kid, that kid is crying. Their child is crying, like, and it makes the guilt even worse, right? The mom guilt, the dad guilt, like, and they just have this regret, and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and it's a normal thing.
Yeah.
And I can tell I'm, like, triggering a lot of people, so we'll clear this after I say this. So, like, and it just kind of builds up, and then it turns into, like, oh, well, I'm going to make up for this guilt. So how am I making up for this guilt? Oh, I'm going to buy them, or, and, like, this is just something that is human nature, right? Like, trying to, like, show them affection in other ways or not. And that regret sits with the parent. And then the child, because the child is very intuitive, picks up on this regret, and then also can learn how to use this to their advantage, and makes that regret even more. And then the child can also have feelings of abandonment, which is a natural thing. So everywhere this has happened to anybody watching this scenario is played out, can we release all the pain, shock, trauma, cellular trauma from these experiences? Releasing the guilt, the shame, the resentment towards yourself, the self-hatred towards yourself, the fear, anywhere where this experience triggers your own abandonment from your own mother, from your own father, releasing that.
For those listening, say yes.
Yes, thank you.
Say yes. Yeah. And just say yes quietly or to yourself. It's just that verbal kind of consent.
And also, like, even if you don't have children, say yes, because this can affect, you can release this for other people in your family, because we're releasing it on all 4 levels of all levels. We're making all clear, cancel, complete. The regret, the shame, the guilt, the, like, the exchange of, like, love for something else, like, you're, like, where you're trying to make up for these feelings of regret or guilt or shame, releasing them all and teaching you and releasing them from your child as well. Even if it's, like, past, present, future, or, like, wherever your children are, however old they are, releasing this, and releasing the abandonment from your child as well. And teaching both of you, creators highest understanding, definition, perception, and truth. And you don't have to see this a greater power as creator. You can see it as Allah, the universe, source. It doesn't matter. It's just a power greater, like, all that is power, right? So teaching you through creators highest understanding, definition, perspective, and truth about love, the love of a mother, the love of a father, the bond between mother and child, the bond between father and child, and unconditional love and acceptance and protection and safety into your child, your children, into you. And then let's do a healing on releasing that regret and releasing any feelings of rejection from your children, where your children felt rejected or where you felt rejected by your children when they may have, like, then, like, punished you for going to work or held a grudge. So also releasing any grudges or any way that your feelings were hurt or their feelings were hurt, and any emotions that are connected to that, the sadness and the grief and the loss. So releasing that. And teaching both you and your children or your child that you know how to have a deep connection. You know how to show each other love and affection and acceptance, and that your children are always wanted and loved unconditionally. So teaching your children that you always love them, that you love them unconditionally, that you want them, you protect them, they're safe, and teaching you that your children are safe and that your children love you and accept you. So anywhere there's been separation, even we're apparently going straight into the healing.
I know. I was like, wait, let's explain to people. Okay, we can go straight into the healing. I'll do some pranic healing, Reiki, while you're doing the theta. You guys might be feeling some energy kind of move around as she is pulling in all of the programs, the thought patterns, the beliefs. Whatever she's saying, you can say yes each time silently or in your head. Just say yes and just be open and receptive to all of this healing, okay? Whether you're watching it live right now or on the playback. All right, here we go. It will
work the same either way.
Yes, here we go.
So I'm also getting to heal anywhere where any instances where your child was hospitalized or you were separated from your child for even a day, 2 days, or even longer.
Oh, so, yes. Sorry. I was like, yes.
Oh, you're accepting.
Yes, I am.
Okay. I'm like, wait, what? So anywhere where there was any separation, and it can be for because of work, it could be because of travel, it could be because of hospitalizations, it could be for any reason that you were ever separated from your child. And there were feelings of anxiety, overwhelm, panic, fear, guilt, shame, regret, or anywhere where you feel you were forced to go back to work and have that regret of having to go back to work. And then the resentment of work or the regret and resentment towards not being able to stay home. Can we mark all that clear, cancel, complete, and release that? And downloading and teaching you through Creator's highest understanding, definition, perspective, and truth about forgiveness in general, and forgiveness for yourself, forgiveness towards your child, and downloading forgiveness into, especially for the young children, that they forgive you as well. And that they know how, that they understand and have the perception of you love them. They know and trust and believe and have faith in the fact that you love them wholly and completely. And that you are always there for them. And can we release the sadness and the anger towards yourself, the self-hatred? Or also, and release it anywhere where your child or children may feel that way towards you or towards your partner or spouse. And can we release any feelings of guilt where your children or child is making you feel guilty, either unintentionally or intentionally, to try to get you to stay home or try to receive something from you, or trying in what they're trying to feel is that they are completely loved. So can we teach them that they are completely loved, and can we release that pattern between you and your child of guilting and shaming one another, or your child doing that to you and you doing it to yourself. So releasing that as a pattern, cycle, loop, habit, and addiction, and all along your ancestral line. So we're going to offer this to all your past, present, future ancestors. So that will be your parents, your grandparents, and all the way back to when this pattern started, and all the way forward in the future, so that this pattern doesn't repeat. And can we heal the mother-child bond all the way back from along your maternal line, and healing the father-child bond for you all the way on your paternal line, and for your children on their maternal and paternal lines as well. And all 4 levels of all levels too. Thank you. So healing this connection, strengthening the connection, healing the connection, repairing the connection. And for some of you, I'm feeling this also is between you and your parents, like healing that connection. And this, it doesn't matter. Someone's like, well, my parents aren't here anymore. That doesn't matter. It's still healing that connection between you and them, so that you can move forward easily and effortlessly, and that you can all move forward, and that your children can move forward, and with like independence and self-assurance and confidence, and feeling loved and wanted and protected and safe. So offering that to your children, offering that to you, and healing that connection along your maternal and paternal lines. And releasing any jealousy as well, because it's coming up, like jealousy of like your child's affection towards your partner or spouse, or jealousy that your partner gets to spend time with your child more than you, or jealousy about like a babysitter or your mom. And can we release anywhere where there's jealousy about how your parents treat your children, and the difference between how they treated you and how they treat your children? That your children are getting the love that you didn't get from your parents. So can we release that, and release that as a regret as well, a resentment, jealousy, envy, and marking all of that clear, cancel, complete. And can we give you Creator's highest understanding, definition, perception, and truth, that your parents did the best they could with what they had, and they loved you as best they could, even if, and I know like someone's saying they didn't, but, and I understand that, but like that it, no matter, even if it was the shitty of the shit, that's all they could offer. And so can we give you forgiveness in that, toward your own mother, your own father, yourself, and your children towards you, even if you don't have children yet, your children towards you, and you towards your children. So just healing that family unit with forgiveness, unconditional love, acceptance, being wanted and accepted for who you are, being loved for who you are, and joy, happiness, playfulness, and compassion towards one another and yourself. I'm going to do a soul healing on your maternal and paternal lines, going all the way back to when this pattern of regret started between mother and child or father and child. And do a heart healing as well. And while that's also happening, we're going to release any energies and any other emotions that are coming up for you. So if you have other emotions coming up, anger, sadness, rage, resentment, regret, blame, judgment, any feelings of revenge, grudges, disappointment, punishment, sadness, sorrow, hate, rejection, and the chaos, denial, any feelings of being betrayed by your parents or betrayed, you betrayed your child or any of that, resolving all of that on all, and pull, cancel, release, resolve. Releasing any other energies, sending them all to the light. Breaking any oath, vows, obligations, fealties, penalties, promises, blessings, binding contracts connected to all of it. Take some deep breaths. You know, someone was holding their breath. You got to breathe, people. It was more than 1%. Okay, it's moving now. And I want you in your head to say after me, I forgive myself. I forgive my mother. I forgive my father. I forgive my partner. I forgive my children. And I forgive Creator. Thank you is done, it is done, it is done. Show me. I forgive myself. I forgive my mother. I forgive my father or whoever raised you. I forgive my partner. I forgive my children. I forgive Creator. I forgive myself. I forgive myself. I forgive myself. I forgive myself. Thank you. It is done. It is done. It is done. Opening new receptors and neural pathways, closing the old receptors, closing and releasing the old receptors and neural pathways for everything we release, along with chaos and drama, and opening new receptors and neural pathways for everything we downloaded, and that everything downloaded is in Creator's highest understanding, definition, perception, and truth, all 4 layers of all layers, in all languages. all time and space, for all past, present, future ancestors, your maternal, paternal line, from the time your soul left the source until eternity, from the point of your conception in each. And offering this healing to all your past, present, future ancestors and your children. Integrating it all and teaching you that you know who you are without everything released in the entirety of this healing. You're whole and complete without everything released in the entirety of this healing. And you know how to live your day-to-day life without everything released in the entirety of this healing. And giving you any additional healings that for you, for your children, and along your for all your past, present, future ancestors that are specific for them, downloading any specific lessons that are specific to each and every person watching this live or on the replay and all their past, present, future ancestors. Imagine yourself being rinsed off by this beautiful, pearly, iridescent white light, like a waterfall of rain coming down on you. Rinsing anything in your auric field, anything inside your body, outside your body, completely rinsing any more debris that is ready to go. Any heaviness, sadness, any additional emotions. Rinsing it down your body, sending it into Creator's light. And it's done. And when you're ready, you can open, when you feel it's complete, you can open your eyes and disconnect. What is it? Sorry, hold on. Okay, and we're going to bring in for each and every one of you and for your children, we're going to bring in healing angels and relationship angels to help heal this relationship, your relationships throughout the next 5 to 7 days. Okay, open your eyes and disconnect. Sorry, I was like, so you can disconnect like this, just cut and disconnect. That's the easiest way to do it.